through all means. That's what our sisters have done. So we as people who are here and everybody, the Ugandan there, what are we supposed to do to stop this issue of every time going to the courts looking for sureties, visiting our comrades in Luzida? What should we do? You know, for example, if we are on ground that our 3 sisters came out, they have to be with a backup team. For example, if those police ladies are attacking them, we also go for them. You are not supposed to remove this one, take them away. Let's put a resistance on them on ground. Because whenever we give them chances to be taken away, of course we go in the sense of laws, of which laws are not working, you know. But the only way we are supposed to protect ourselves from that is fighting on ground. Yes, they're arresting our sisters. We have seen them and we have been there. Let's back them up. Let's go for those people, for those the police ladies, because they are almost like 4 ladies of the police. If they had backup, we could help them. But because sometimes they come as emergency, because if you are cooking something like what our sisters did, of course, but at least if you get a chance that at least, you know, Muji, I'm going to do this, know about it, on this time, in a silent way. Of course, Muji will organize his people if he's on ground, and then they will be there on standby, waiting for anyone who comes up to pick up our sisters and brothers who are on ground, so that they can help them in such a manner. But I'm really, really very tired of these issues of going to courts, visiting our sisters, but we had chances of stopping those people from taking them, you know. We should give our sisters and brothers who are on ground escape routes. Let's be there for them. Otherwise, we are going to keep on this issue of relying on laws. Yet the laws are not working. All institutions are engulfed and captured by the dictator. And of course, he's using our money to do that, you know. At least let them look for us elsewhere on ground, but not there. Let them start hunting for us aside, but at least we have jumped that one of the day, you know. As for me, I think we should get ways of how to finish these people there and then. Let's stop them from picking our people and they go moving on. If we are to resist, I heard of Dr. James talking of how those people in Samia there used to be there for their friends. If they say a drone, they go for it and they insist we're not taking anybody because they just know they are going to take a Samia. Let's fight there and then. Of course, those people fear. They will automatically release them and they start hunting you one by one. Yes, let them hunt us one by one, but at least we have stopped this issue of believing in courts and going there wasting our time. Now, can you imagine a lady having kids at home? We are going to wait for 10 days for them to come back to court. And again, they'll bring conditions that will not favor them. And then they also deny bail to them. Why do we always wait for that? And so I think we should make strategies of backup. If they come to pick up our sisters like the way they did, let's go for them, tell them, no, don't take them. Let's try to create escape routes for the fellow comrades. I think it will give them strength and give them courage to come back the next time. Now we can't imagine what they are going through in Rosita there. Yes, they came out naked, but in a willing way for their country. But they are forcing them to put off clothing in the prison there, forcefully harassing them, dehumanizing them, you know. We don't know what they're even going through. In prisons there are many diseases, infections, what, and they're ladies. You know, ladies' bodies are sensitive. For me, my submission was all about how are we backing our fellow comrades there and then, protecting them from being taken away, handed over to the hands of those goons in the so-called names of police and prisoners, prison officers. For me, I think we should get ways, by all means. Let's create backup teams in our teams. Yes, it is an emergency, but if, for example, Shefe talked of that thing to someone, you organize people that will help, that will be there on standby. Because even the police comes, they come with gadgets. They are on front, but they will say, no, let us put the shields in front to protect those people from maybe throwing stones to us or doing what. So they come well prepared with the backup teams. And of course, backup teams have to be rough. It is a peaceful protest, but the backup teams have to be rough. Whether it means they could hit the hand of the police lady in that she can release or put hands off the comrade, you can hit the arm. Because for you know what you are going to do, and of course you can be ready to run out at any moment. You know, it will give a chance to our fellow comrades also to get escape routes. You know. As for me, I'm very annoyed over that issue because if I talk too much, I may even get pissed. But let me stop there for now.
Thank you, Ivan. Yeah, it's understandable. We are all pissed, very pissed. Thank you very much. About the backup, whenever people are protesting, I just wanted to let you know we've all thought about that. The challenge here has been some people use that advantage to, you know, give out information about our people. They get arrested on spot and things like this. So it was not really by accident or by mistake that these people did not communicate. No, it was really a planned move. And it was also the same way they did not communicate which day they are going to protest. Because the regime really has invested so much in their spy network. They have a very good spy network. I must give it to them. So this is why we are also changing the tactics. Much as we want to do things together, we must be united by the actions. But how we meet there, how we mobilize to do it, it will be changing eventually, depending on what the dictator and the regime deploys in the field to crush us. Crystal, Olidia, how are you? Unmute and speak to us, please.
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Go on, please.
Mawidde mwogera ku bano abawoza simanyanga molos. Bano abasajja balina okuvaayo to defend themselves. Tebatunyeenya emmeeza yaabwe. Eriko ebyokunywa, eriko buli kimu ekyabwe. Gye tukutte gye tunyeenya. Of course, they have to come out to be defending. Gwe obeera gwe. Oyinza kukkiriza business y'okwoyo egende nga teweerwanyeeko. No. Saawe n'abawoza simanyanga molos, simanyanga kakati, simanyanga obuwangwa, ani anaawasa. Ekiri ku byakutuwasa simanyanga bwekiriki oba obuwangwa tubumenya kale tubumenye ate nga tutasansiya ku Uganda bagitwala Uganda obuwangwa no Uganda kyekisinga okuba ekinene kyekisinga okuba ekyomugaso kinyamba to protect my culture my sinanga tradition sinanga biki kukuuma empisa ng'ensi yange bagitwala kinyamba kigenda kunyamba kyenga nina empisa nga Uganda teriiwo okiba kitegeeza kujja nga tuli bwereere tujja kujja nga tuli bwereere kuba tebanna batuwulira yes batuwulira tulaga batekine actions tujja kujja mu mbeera yonna oyo gwe kiruma wadde olunaku lwalaba nga oyo azze okukola protesting nga enyambajja yambaddemu tempanisiza oba yazze bike tasira ku media asooka agiveko for a week alidda nga tekiyise abikula essimu ye nga kiyiseewo naye nga tukyajja kuba tebannaba kuba kye twagala bakyefudde ab'emputu as if they are not hearing as if they are not seeing kati abayomba sinanga necessary simanyanga kiri buli omu alina omutwe gwe gwolaba nga kyenkola kwera kitatu kusanisiza buteekawo ekikyo obanga jya oli mulwanyizi wa ddembe ngwanyirira ensi abo bonna abalwanyisa kino siraba nga bagamba nti bannange enguzi ezisusse tebakyogeranga nako everyone is quite about corruption now Ugandans are defending themselves ate bonna babeswale mu busuuti sinanga n'obutazi nako bonna ab'amasoki n'abamatayi kuba just garbage ne basibyeko n'ensi yaffe basibyere mu buzibu twabeesiga emyaka mingi bali mu kwogera nzungu bali mu kusiba butaayi basibyeko abusajja buli omwe lwanaako nga bujja nga bajja babayimirira mu maaso bane mukakane nga mukakana egomaka nga mugenda nga wayitawo ekisanja kati wa gye tuli osanga bannayuganda singa beerwanako gya naye because of those butayi sinanga luzungu menyi n'obukazi obwajjanga mu bannayuganda ne bubasirisa now still as in the traders basi tebataddemu sinanga obeddamu gasana ku Chinese town sinanga biki leka abasuubuzi bakubeko ekibaati nze munnayuganda njagala bamunyigakkiriza asituke yeerwaneko ate banaasirika omusabeni agenda bongeramu omuchina omulala ate remember those Chinese they don't pay taxes bakolera mu bizinga bya bwereere tebaba musolo basulira bwereere emmere bana ya bwereere so kati nebasigala just kutunda bintu at a cheap price tebafaayo tebalina bebanyigirizibwa nze all the traders went mute kubanga baayagala okumeetinga Museveni and he didn't meet them buli omu n'asirika kati buli omu anyalaba nga alina okusituka alwanirira ensi ye bannange buli omu ajja kusituka leka buli omu bamunyige leka buli omu bamukwate bebamukwatidde naye abadde nti bano abazze nga bali bwereere bwakoze kikyamu naye ajja tukozesa azeyambule nga jali amugambye nti zeeyambule kuba njagala bannayuganda bawulire ng'alina pain from the bone ajubire nga ne bwasiba omukka gubuguumirira because of the pain you have kuba zadda mu kwesaasira ogamba bambi bano bamunyigiriza tetugenda kwerwanako tulina okuvaamu ekisa tuyige ku mpisa embi buli omu asituke yeerwaneko njagala omuchina yeeyongere mu kibuga awo omusuubuzi ateera ku matagule w'edduuka ye n'okuliggala aliggale nga talina kyakola bajja kwerwanako bannakana kasita tulemu tulina buli omu leka bamunyige mu mbeera ge mazima sabire baganda tebatuteeruzira tubazeemu amaanyi tubawembejje tubalage omukwange tubalage laavu waba tugulidde kubo bazibudde bannayuganda mu maaso tusa kibuusa maaso tebalina bye bazibudde mu maaso no balina bye bazibudde maaso tebintu bisoboka bannayuganda badde beebaze nnyo buli omu nga yiiti tavaayo tubasabire twongere obbabanja tubaggyako mu maaso netubaggyako mwoyo tubabeererewo paka lasi tujja kuwangula ffe tulina ekintu essaawa zino gavumenti twagisinziza dda mu maanyi buli kimu kiri mu ngalo zaffe ffe tukirina gavumenti naye kati weera yeebuuza mbakuttewo basisa teri kutusiisa no kuba sire baatandika kino ekintu lwaki nga batusiriza tugenda kukivuga mpaka kufa kwaffe paka lasi wekinakoma nga kibuseeyo bayitandikira abaana baffe naye baligamba twalwanako nabo nafuna bye batandikira bannange abalala bajje bateese mwebale kubeera mwebale kuwanyira nsi yaffe tusigale nga tuwala no giving up teri kukugusa mukono paka nga Uganda ezze mu ngalo zaffe Uganda yaffe ffe kino gifa kye twagala ffe tugenda okukozinga kyendi bitwetaaga kyagala gikozinga kuba twakigadde abakulembeze bali omusimbi gwe naye gujja balakira lunaku lumu lujja balakira Comrade wounded Ugandan.
Yes.
Back to you.
Webale nnyo my dear. Naye mwe women in this fight against corruption, is it me or you guys mubawulira? They are different very solid, even just in the way they submit. Bwawulira sheshe nga ayogera baganda bange, all the people who have really participated in this fight against corruption people are not just jobless people. Nedda they are very serious educated professionals, parents, and this is one of the things that actually challenges the police officers who arrest them. They find them very informed, very educative, so they are not even easily manipulated. Actually, the police officers, they end up being, mentally tormented by these prisoners, because they tell them things that actually affect them. They get to hear them, but they have to execute their duties anyway by arresting them. So women in this fight, ladies, girls, sisters, mothers, your contribution in this fight so far, it is an understatement to say it is felt. We are breathing it, we are living it, we are coping. Very soon, nafe tujja kujja abasajja. The ball is in our side. Yeah, you can decide to wear your boxer, you can decide to not wear your boxer, whatever the case it is. Mwagala nnyo ebifuba wabweru. Put that chest out and do something. There is a friend here who suggested that you can protest away from harm's way. You can stay at home, newekube ekifaananyi, nga ositudde ekipande kyo, you're shirtless, and we make this global. You protest, Anita must resign, and you're also nude or naked, whatever the country would want to describe that. But the point is, Anita has to resign. Whether she wants it or she doesn't want it, at the end of the day, she must resign. Let's go to you. I think, Clinton, you'll wait unless you have something brief, but I wanted to hear from Joe, then we come to you. Then let's go to you, Joe. Shall come back to you, Clinton. Joe?
Thank you very much, comrade. Thank you for hosting this Twitter space, and we're living in very interesting times. Let me first of all commend our sisters for the protest that was very well executed today. It was different and it was very impactful, and I think it has energized our protests. I think we're losing a bit of steam, but this has really energized. It has energized the protests. Using nudities or people stripping is not very new. It is an old form of civil disobedience that has been used, but what it does, it draws attention to the issues, to the causes. In this case, it really has drawn attention to the debate that we've been having. And I think if the dictator thought that this is going to win away, I think today he was in for a shock. So what naked protests do, they leverage the shock value of nudity, which of course is seen as a taboo in many cases or socially unacceptable. But it creates a very powerful visual statement, and that is what has happened today. Now we may have people posing as moralists, talking of morality. The question is, who determines morality? And who defines morality? And whose morality are you talking about? Why don't you talk about the morality of the criminals? Why don't you talk about the morality of Anita Amon? Why don't you talk about the morality of the useless members of parliament who have become self-seekers? So I think that selective kind of morality is not going to really, is not going to be, we are not going back to buy into that. So we reject any notions of morality. I think we're new grounds and all the options are on the table. So in other words, we are saying there are no holds barred. So anything goes as far as we are concerned. To liberate our country, we're going to use anything. We're going to weaponize our bodies. We're going to weaponize anything that we have. But it will remain, let me qualify my statement. It will remain peaceful, to remain non-violent, but we are going to weaponize whatever we have. And the women today, I think, have really demonstrated that, three as they were very, very, the whole protest was very, very powerful. And actually, the police women were just at a loss. They didn't know what to do. And this is what we've been waiting for. And I think going forward, we shall be coming back in different forms, but we're going to make an impact. So we're not going to, we are not going to relent. So actually, there have been examples in history. I think you've heard of the Pussy Riots. It's a group in Russia that has been also using shock and awe methods to make a statement in the dictatorship of Putin. With a group called Femin in Ukraine, they've also been using their bodies to make an impact. And I think that 2016 we had students in South Africa, in particular at the University of Rhodes, who were protesting against high fees. They were using their bodies, but also close home. Locally, we've had. Do you remember the women of Amuru? I think was it Apa or Amuru? It was Apa. I think where there was the land issue. When Nyakarima went there, the intern minister. Those were very, very powerful, and actually the ministers had to withdraw. They had to make concessions. I think they had come very belligerent, but when they go there, I think that was a very powerful statement from our mothers, our grandparents, when they undressed the ministers just had to withdraw, and I think to make concessions as far as the issues were concerned. So these are very, very powerful statements, and I think in the different cultures we have, when somebody really, I think when you cross the line and they undress and maybe give you a bum salute, that is a very, very powerful statement, and it borders on even, I think, cursing you, bringing you bad luck. So this is a very, very powerful imagery, and I think the symbolism is about vulnerability. I think by stripping naked, the protesters make themselves vulnerable, but that vulnerability symbolizes the exposed state of victims of corruption. So that is what it really symbolizes. That is what it symbolizes, and that is what we should be reading. So it is exposing the state in which the country is, the state in which we people are, the victims of this corruption are. That is what it does. So I think I can say that the shock and the media attention that we got, I think, is going to give us momentum. Of course, we are concerned about our sisters, but I think from some of the submissions I had from Councillor Tobias, he said, I think the girls were, I think there was a sense of satisfaction, a sense of achievement, for having really executed this protest so well. As much as they in discomfort in Luzira, but that is the price we have to pay. I think they really feel that they achieved something. So going forward, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'll just reflect on one or two things what happened in Gulu. There was this private members' bill. There was the private members' bill, where this member of parliament, is it called Lumu, where we are to propose a bill to where a leader of opposition will be elected. Ladies and gentlemen, that is something that should not miss our attention. I really think that Museveni is plotting to this is what is called a Trojan horse. So they are bringing in this bill as a pretext, really, I think, for bringing in the bill whereby members of parliament will be electing the president. This is where we are heading. So I really think we have to oppose. We really have to oppose all those attempts. I think that is where we are heading, but we cannot. I think we are not going to wait, and we are not going to get there. I believe that these social movements that we have are a very, very powerful vehicle, and I really think if we continue to mobilize, or let me say, as we continue to mobilize, ladies and gentlemen, not just mobilizing within Kampala, but also across the country. And I think at this juncture, let's try to engage the students. Where are the students? Let's try to engage the different professional groups. Doctors, where are the doctors? The interns were recently, they recently came out and they have issues which we know are not going to be addressed. Museveni is going to dupe them again. Year in, year out, it has been the same story. I think this time we must get together. The different professional groups, the teachers, even the police, much as they brutalize our people, we are fighting for them. And because we know that they work in very appalling conditions, they live in very appalling conditions. So we want everybody on board, the nurses, the allied medical professionals, name it. We want everybody, the traders, we want everybody, because no one is going to achieve any, they are not going to achieve any goals, whether to fight for their welfare or to improve their salaries. They are not going to achieve if they go solo. In other words, we must get together. And I really think we have to continue to mobilize, to build alliances across the different bodies, across the country. That way we are going to, I think, we shall be able to achieve, raise the numbers and achieve a critical mass. And then we move forward. This thing must not die. We've started very well, and let's jealously guard what we have. Because before, we could go when you went to a protest, you would be shot if you'd be tear gassed. I think what we've done using peaceful, non-violent means has given us that capital, political capital, and we must not lose it. So let us maintain and let us just continue protesting. And I think so far so good. Once a week, or whenever, we must maintain a presence and make the dictator very busy. We know that he doesn't have much money, and believe you me, doing these mob, protests. Mob controls or whatever, protest controls. It is a lot of money, and I really think, we're now into almost some weeks into the protest. It's going to be a long, protracted one. It's going to be a protest of attrition. So let's keep going. I think so far so good. Do not accept anybody to discourage you. We've done very well. Of course, we could have done better, but I think we're, in the right direction. And I think let's just keep going. Thank you very much, comrades. I yield the mic. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you very much for that submission. And guys, to just let you know, there is a section of Ugandans today that wrote to the European Parliament, basically petitioning them about the ongoing corruption scandals in Uganda, detailing a few individuals who are at the center stage, and the petition was received today. So that is another thing that you can write to the European Parliament. These are the people who are actually funding projects where the money is being stolen from, much as we are being also overtaxed. Yes, Joe, have you left out something?
Yes, comrade. I just wanted to, as I said, I mean, all the options are on the table, and I think women are very, very, the women race are very, very, very resourceful. Going forward, as we move on, I think we're coming to a phase when we're going to ask our sisters to use again. Sex can be a very powerful tool. It has been used before. It has been used in Liberia. It has been used in Sierra Leone to stop the war. So if ladies, if your partner is not supporting this protest, we can use sex as a tool. A man can withhold his sex, or a woman can withhold her sex, until your partner now also agrees to support the protest. And I think there's coming a time when we're going to appeal, to members to use sex as a tool. So you withdraw your services to your partner until that partner begins to understand what is going on, until they become involved in the struggle. That is where we're heading, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. And this is not just for the ladies, but it's also for us men. How do we get our partners to support what we are doing, to support the struggle? That is a very powerful weapon we can use. Thank you very much. Over to you, comrade.
Yes, the power of Kasolo, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Kasolo, tubadde tumwerabidde. Naye bannange, whenever applying that, please be mindful kubanga oyinza okukola ekyo ku muntu ayinza okugenda for a whole year. You know, there are people who are already tired. Oyinza okujjaawo ne weefuula nti togenda muwaako. N'akulaga they will go for a whole year nga takusabyeko. So, understand your partners before applying the methods. Omuntu bw'aba mukoowu. Clinton, let's go to you, then we shall come back.
I was going to. This is a very good compliment of a gentleman, and I also reminded me. I'm just flashing on the statement he also just issued on European. I think another job what protesters can do, what we can do in Uganda. I think I love this. Bring back to our people. Like I really love this. We are at least having some embassies still remaining, right? Let us all write petitions and now. Tebagenda ku receiving emitwalo 10 petition emitwalo 10 ku parliament ku embassy ya America ne basirika. So let us also use that method. UK government, German embassy, Chinese embassy, bulicho balaba ba China bali mukujja ogenda gira boti Russian embassy. These people whenever we write, we attach, we deliver these documents to them. That is one way. Naye ate bring back to our people the chinde chinsanyusiza. Nze ndabi we tugenda funira abantu abalina amabina bagatekeko Anita must resign. Ne wakifanira ekifananyi bagabakyase. Ne bokubanga otunudde omugongo tuteeka mu kifananyi kyo. Kubanga tetwagala kuttira katale tomorrow. Tunula mu kisenge wali emabega tuna omuntu amanyi kuwandiika obulungi. Wandiika. Kati Uganda tulina abakazi abasinga amabina mu nsi yonna tubakitukolera. Guys, it's funny, but it's where the government refuses. Omuntu yalese plan eyo. Ala yatuguddewe kubanga you don't need even to go to speed. Yeah? You don't need to go to speed. Nga sikuwira ogamba ki?
Nga ndimwagala kutusanseko.
This works. Kubanga bring back our people. You can digest in a solution and you be like lwaki twamenyeka. Kubanga it was easy and it will work. Then ekirala njaga tutandike tugule abakyala wali tutandike tugula abantu. For example, oleka agala kumpa nditezo oyo chief justice oyo magistrate asaza omusango n'asinka bana abana ebiziro oyo muvubuka oyo musajja waliko omwana gwe yali alya gwe bayita Aisha oba Asha yataka kulipereza tubakupe tubasindike nditezo zawe zifulume otegeera tubagambe if you do not stop what you are doing your nudity is going to move out oyo gaya omukazi naye ali omuwala gwe bayita Asha bubanga mujjukira musango gwa pressure oyo muvubuka gwe bayita pressure gwe baata oyo ye gaya yali mabega w'omusango ogwo era ye yata pressure era okumuta basoka walike yali amuwaako ate nudity zamuyina tubakube tufulumye nudity zaabwe bw'oba oziyina tandike tugenda abantu ababeetega at least buli muntu yena ajja n'aluba abantu baffe n'abakwata tubakube egundi zaabwe tuziteeke naffe tugwe tuli basirikale bo balowooza bapoliisi naffe tuli bapoliisi bino tubisobolana mugisha
tulina budde
mugisha kino kijakola soko ngamba nituzakola ekininga
kiza kukoliwe leta ya Uganda ate bakukale bereta bintu tusanyihanga
wallahi
no nabajo mukoti wena ari kugamba mani ari kugamba kineka
ona majestate aina semudondo liwe ali mauli ojakula ajakwirabira ne gundi tebagitadde ajakwira
tuyambe tukwegayiride buli edite twagali ya wanu banu neza abamira tandi ku
majestate agenda kwa semudondo
nani abongi yegendereze ngacyali muddugavu abana bo mu sentinel babirina
naye banange violence ya midnight yaji na Uganda
balo
mugisha embozi wayitira ku kabina ovaayo sebo mbadde manyi weebase naye yakonye kabina wavuddeyo obubi nnyo
bring back our people tukalira bwerere n'abasajja bano kikati bakoleko nze n'omwana kamugambe muweyo ekyekkomi kyapa ebintu tubizunze
kiba kisinze n'obupande
kiba kisigala obupande kati bakole ekintu kibalefa nga tebeerabidde wallahi
mukoti okutunula ku bantu
alekera tulabo bantu tubati musa abavudde ku mapa
bagise bagitegeere naffe tugere tunoonye ebyanita amonge nga akyalina ama
munoonye ebifaananyi ebyo omukazi tumukube nga nitamu nga ali bukunya bute okitegeera bring back people lwaki tukayalala bano abantu ng'ensonga ziri easy ensonga za nudity Anita Mongo must resign ziri ku mabina ate nonya bali akaza balina mabina omanyi baliko bana bakaza bali nga cyabagwa
n'abakozesa obupale buno opale w'ekikyala instead of writing
w'ekikyala
kubanga wali bw'owandiika kikola sense naye n'obwakambala it solves that problem of writing naye abantu b'embalira eyo abanyambalira mina ebyana
tebateekamu feesi zaabwe ekifaananyi bakiba ng'atunudde engeri
the man you can do the same kubanga si byakuteekayo feesi just teeka yakabina
ate kyenkugamba teeka akabina ofuna omuntu akadesigninge bulungi teekako Anita Mongo oli kabina nakano Anita Mongo must resign
tewulira online process bannange what is going to happen mulinde these people are just joking
obujja tunonya plan naye plan ejakola wallahi
kange nenonyayo kabokisa kange encha nange ngenda kwezimba otherwise katulize from Lukanga the mic is yours please
naye mwe let's hope this time round you people are going to be serious since now you have got a solution bijjo tubagamba nga mwekazaakaza kakati olwaliro planning mwe mugirese ate Suuna taliiwo naye woli ani omulala
yatandikidde ewa Suuna actually abakyala bagita gajja abasajja ffe tuweyise bajja
but all in all this is something that it is going to work like I mean the statement is being written you love it or not it is written by force. We didn't know when it will happen. Yes, they were for, they are taken wherever they are right now. But as a person who needs a country, who needs democracy, who needs service, to me, do whatsoever you can. And let us defend these sisters of ours. There is nothing like being naked than Museveni has undressed us as Ugandans. Now, for us, we sing nudity, kubanga abantu beyambudde ne bejjako engoye zaabwe. Naye Museveni atuwambudde. N'atuteeka wali. Netusigala era nga tukyassa n'atuteeka wali netusigala era nga tukyayogera. Someone has the guts to tell us nga kwegamba wulira obusungwe. One gentleman was on one of the spaces of that guy yabaddeko wano simanyi fat boy wana leero at the whole nonsense and you're like seriously like Mr. Mugeni said that now the elites are going to hold spaces condemning the arts and you have seen almost all the so-called abalimanyi oluzungu olungi buli omu kyayogera. But I was so sad Mr. Spire awandiise waliwo omwami n'ateekako ka video nga bagayi bano omukyala ali kulaajana ssebo nsonyiwa taata bamutadde mu river kind of a river n'amukuba essasi n'amutta. Guys, what kind of
video eyo nagirabye but I did not understand eyo incident yabadde Uganda
omukyala abadde ayogera yali ayogera na mu Luganda taata nsonyiwa ssebo nsonyiwa she was that old lady she was speaking in Uganda like I never wanted to put on like to hear maybe I thought but she was speaking. Mulabe bwali omukyalo oyo. Ask yourself, what did she do? When they said these guys are feeding people on crocodiles, people said, it is not real. It is a movie. It is not a movie.
It is real. So what type of nudity can really take a life? What these ladies did and the kind of acts the dictator and the so-called men in suits are doing, that is leaving a Ugandan in tears, in sorrows. Like seriously, guys who steal HIV AIDS money and the patients die. Kids, babies are born and placed in plastic chairs. And you're saying you are not naked? And you're saying we should respect our bodies? Who has respected us? Who has no, like, seriously speaking, I saw this video, my tears rolled down. When they say, Baba Lisa Gonyanga Muwakana, Kachojo Nyumizambu no Simani Tuli, but whoever is here, ng'owuliriza bulungi. Tewaliwo nakedness nga Museveni gy'atukoze ku nga ffe bannayuganda lwakuba tukyayambadde. Abantu b'ekiteezi tebategeera nti no kasasiro yajja okubajja mu mbeera gye balimu. Abantu b'e Lusanja, Luwigi, name them all, tebategeera era ekintu ng'ekyo kya tebinkwatako bannange kino nze kati ffe tunaalyawo mutugamba tugende protesting mugende mubikolera eyo yali maybe oba somewhere agenda okuddanga ennyumba ye eri wansi. So who undressed you? Who undressed you? Were you paid to Museveni to undress you? He undressed you willingly kubanga wakkiriza okukola. Wakkiriza n'ogamba tebinkwatako. People are talking about you know, there's something that is very annoying. Each time there is a bill they want to pass, they refer it to a certain country. As long as that bill is in their favor, they are going to quote for you all the countries. All the countries. Nge baba gamandu US taina age limit. Baba quotingira bulungi nnyo. Ne beerabira nti USA ina term limits. So you see, kati babalaze nti bagenda kubalondera. Kati now another right is taken away. Twali tumwayi mu China ko wadde beeronda ng'ogamba kale njagenda nonde wali omukulembeze gwe njagala. Kati nakyo bagenda kibajjako era mukyayogera mbu tukyayambadde. Tukyayambadde nga bagenda kubalondera Museveni ba MP. Who do you think is going to fight for your rights? Era tukyawoza regional sittings should go on. Anita nga basinza musinze. Omwami yabadde ayogera from Mbarara n'agamba simanyi group ya Anita. Pana, rights are taken away and our watch tuli awo twefudde abasome nnyo ffe tukola kino bannange respect. Guys have not respected us even for a single moment. Nga Mr. Mugisha bwe yagambye, let us continue sleeping. Tujja kaaba nga bwe tukaaba bwe batutta bwe bateeka wali buli kimu bakikole. Abalibeerawo balisanga woki. You know, it is easy. They say prevention is better than cure. Si kyekyo abasoma mu mbuulira nti nze saasoma nnyo. So, kakati, katulinde to cure what we shall not be able to cure. Let us continue sleeping. Ladies and gentlemen who are in Uganda right now, Esawa Mozimanyi, abali Monsendala, I see my sister Uganda is bleeding. She's supposed to be sleeping right now. I'm sure also Ivan Bruce. Naye muli kuno ku space. It's not that you don't have what to do. You have a lot. Naye lwaki tudde wano tuli kubagamba bannange, it is real. Mulekera okubala ebivulu bifuuse ebivulu naye amasomero gali bubi muli awo muwoza. Let us have respect. So what more can I say? Ladies and gentlemen, this is too much. If there's a protest that you can do, do it. Let's do it. Uganda is bleeding. Unless you think you are going to see blood on the streets of Kampala, you are going to see garbage on the streets of Kampala right now. But the blood that is flowing on the streets of Uganda is beyond, and you can't see it. The day we shall see it, we shall all be no more. N'abaana betuzadde ne betulizaala bali tumenya. Temulaba bajjajja baffe. Temulaba nti tuli kubanenya. At least bo they blindfolded them. But others say, no, wait a minute. And now they're telling us, ABCD, naye tukyali awo era tukyebase baatuwa otulo. Muzuukuke. Babajjako constitution yonna ne bagiteeka wali. Kati baabo bali eri babimeremaking nga bagenda kulonda mbu omukulembeze w'eggwanga. Era tukyali wano twebase. Ng'oŋŋamba mbu. Ladies and gentlemen, banange, campaign abasajja namwe musobola okugula obubina ne muwandiikako. Enkyawe tunajja ne tubagamba nti mubeere abasajja nga muyomba nti tulibayisaamu eggaali. Mr. Mugisha will bring back our people soon n'abalala mwenna. Namwe mulina kati omulimu ogw'okukola. Thank you so much. If you give me another opportunity.
Tujja baba, tujja badiya, tujja bagayi. Mugolole bu boxers bagayi. Mugolole bu boxers kubanga. The women have put it so high that Anita has to resign. Nze sina kyendaba ye kirala. Otherwise, guys, let's hear from, I think, Paul. Your hand was up first. Then we go to Claudia. Florence, Toseka. Paul, please unmute.
Okay, thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
First of all, ngenda kusalutinga abakyala abo abataddewo embeera nti abo bazira baddala nnyo abagenzi mu mbeera eyo. era saagala kwonoona omwogezaako okuvaako nti teri kwambulwa kusingako Museveni kyakoze eggwanga Uganda. Ejjogo lingi nnyo nga tetabikola yekka, abikola n'abantu abeeyitambu balina influence, balina ebitiibwa, bakolagana bonna bwe batyo. Banaddiini, bano ab'ennono baali batusimba akatambala nga batuwa kiwaani. Kyolaba ne Ssaabasajja wafaayo n'agamba tetulina buyinza, twayagala okuzaawo Bwakabaka naye si buli omu nti abwagala. So tubadde twalimbibwa, buli kimu kyakulimba nti mulina constitution, nti mulina chief justice, naye nga chief justice wa Museveni, nti mulina electoral commission, naye ng'era weya mugula nga bali bakozi ba ssente eggwanga Uganda balitunda liri ku sale. Museveni yeeyita wa kitalo nnyo, naye Abannayuganda n'ebintu byabwe n'ebintu by'omu East Africa abiguza abazungu tugenda kutuuka ekiseera, of course tuli kumuteekako amaanyi, tugenda muteekako nati sanction, abazungu ebintu ebyo bagenda kubyeddiza, ate bino byazimbye waffe ku ground tugenda kubyeddiza. Amasomero ga Nitamonge gagenda kubeera nga tegakyali private, gagenda kufuuka ga gavumenti. Buli kimu ekizimbibwa mu Uganda na bano ababbi bagenda tubuulirako ssente ezo baazijjawa mu maaso awo. Tujjukire nti bano ba Museveni bagamba we shall deal with you, we shall crush you. What do you mean we? What do you mean we? Temukyasobola nagoba mbaata. We shall crush you. We are the masters of violence. Ffe kati tugambe violence yaffe yakujja mu ngoye, era abasajja banaye temubeera awo mutunira abakazi mubakyalinga mugende mu maaso, nedda. Naffe tuggyemu empale tugende banaye teri kintu kisingako awo, tugende nga twesize olero waffe bulungi nnyo, oba kyetweziga kyona ekiseera mu mubiri, tugende tubegatteko ffenna. Kutegera Museveni azima alaba banyinaffe bali bukunya beetunda ku streets, mbu abo tabakwatako, naye bano abazze okulwanyira eggwanga Uganda mbu babakwatako, mbu batwala abasibe nga bajjudde eri ku mazikristo ag'enjawulo, nga Museveni awo atwagalira okwonoona digite yaffe, nga twatuka nti omukyala ekyamaanyi kyolina okukola bukwetunda, oba omusajja oba vice versa. Omusajja olina yaffe olina okusooka kufumbirwa mukazi alina ssente, olwokuba mukyala alina ssente, nti kangende empasa oyo, ate nga ofunye kakisa nga ate kya butonde nti omusajja olina okuwasa omukyala nga ennono zaffe. Naye kati ennaku zino omusajja ogenda oli awo munafu mutolina ssente ng'ogenda kangende ku kye nawembekedde kangambe mu Buganda bagamba batya nakyewombekedde awatali teteezaamu awo. Yes,
nakiyombekedde. So
ensonga zetuliko zino bannaawe wetutuuse tuggyemu engoye ffenna anti tuffe ekyaffe tuli opposite. Museveni tatulaga ngeri kye tuba tumulwanyisaamu, nedda. Bano banaddiini simanyi bannono basirikire ddala baba basirika baleke eggwanga libeere nga ligenda lisinkinga, naye tebali seefu, tebeeyibaala nti bali seefu bo. Naye ffe abafaayo abatasaanidde tugenda kukyusa eggwanga eyo, naye nga tulina okukola bino ebintu wammanga ebiri radical ebya revolution, nti tulina okuteekawo embeera etali ya bulijjo, nti ate nga tetuzanyisa kazannyo ka Museveni mbwe tulikola nga ye bw'akola, nedda. Ffe tugenda kola byaffe eby'omulembe gwaffe nga tebirinaako ansa. Ensonga endala, oyo kafidi akali awo, omukyala nga bamukuba amasasi, omukyala nga alaja n'agamba nsonyiwa, omusajja n'amutunizaamu pisto bw'ati ku mugga, n'amutunizaamu essasi, naye ng'omukyala gwali kuba mukyala mukadde yali awo nti asobola okumulwanyisa nti ali violent, naye nga that is deliberate, nti mbuyali asaanidde afe, mbuyali ku execution, naye nga ani awo abano abantu emundu ezo zebakozesa nti omuntu atambula n'emundu nga bw'ayagadde era agikozesa nga bw'ayagadde. Ssaabasajja yavaayo wano n'avaayo n'abuuza nti ayagala okufuna ku alipoota ey'ekita abantu ekyaliwo nga 19, 18, 19, 2020, nti baagala kutegeera abantu baafa kiki, ani yabatta era lwaki, baagala lipoota eyo, nti ebaza mu bisango ki, nti era circumstances ezasinzizaako nti balina kuttibwa, oba mu kifo ky'okubakwata bagenda oba basibe, nti balina kuttibwa. Kati nkulaba omukyala ng'oyo mukadde katambyako mu kanonje gye kali ku Twitter, gye kali ku social media, mutya kalaba omukyala talina mundu, talina kyakulwanyisa kyonna, naye ali ku ttaka, omukyala mukadde, naye ng'olaba ogusajja gumutunizaamu pisto bwe guti nga bugamba gw'oli wakufa, naye nga mundu ani azinako olugundi. Museveni bakwata abaana mbabakute n'ebyambalo by'amagye, mbonamutwala mu court martial, Olivia Lutayambu ali gwa butujju, kati eriyo omutujju asingako awo bannaye, eriyo omutujju asingako awo. Tegera kati Museveni tugamba Bannayuganda nti Museveni tulina okubannaye okukwatira wamu tumwanjikira ddala nti Museveni is a terrorist, tugambe Museveni ye ADF, Museveni ye Konyi, Museveni ye M23, bakolagana ne banne bakagame, ate abazungu babadde babafacilitatinga. Ensonga tugikubire ddala nga tukubira ddala n'amaanyi. Eri ayogeddeko ku kya petition, abazungu twawandiikira amabaluwa oba n'okwekalakaasa, ate ewaabwe eri ku ground, n'abali mu diaspora tugendere ddala ku offices zaffe nga tuli bukunya, ng'oli ali ku ground wali ng'agende fight against corruption omukyala, naawe oli awo woli mu diaspora, naawe vaayo toyambadde nude protest, ekintu kigoyenge viral. Omusajja gwe bayita omuyindi baali muyita Gandhi yaleta ekiteeso n'agamba tugenda kumachinga tugenda kufuula ensi eno abazungu bano nga tebaagala kugibeeramu nti tugenda kusansanya kazambi buli wamu nti abazungu batuka okwefuula agamba naye this is wafe okubeera mu nsi eno era abazungu bamala ne bakola ki ne bapondoka ne baviira ne bawininga that kind of war naye ng'omuzungu yalinga the oppressor asanze abantu mu nsi yaabwe beeyagala balina culture zaabwe aze awamba buli kimu ata lwakuba alina the maximum gun mbuye alina akajegere mbuye alina amaanyi lwakuba yayiye emundu n'agamba mukyamaanyi nnyo banaye bano abantu balina emundu ezo tebazirinaako monopole ate tebasobola kuzikosa lubeerera Museveni ali fighting against emyaka nature tasobola kubeeraawo mbagenda kumalako ne nature no kati omulembe gwaffe guno wano tutuuse saawa zino tetubeeraawo nga tulindira abantu bannabyabufuzi baze batugamba desemba baddewo emyaka n'emyaka batululinga ne Museveni kati ebyaffe biri tribeless twagala Bannayuganda nga twagala change immediately religiousness kwegamba mulimu abakulembeze mulimu leaders of course naye tetwagala kubeera nga oli bwe tusongamu fenafena kimukwatako oba oli wa chachi oba oli wa nono oba oli musiraamu sheikh fenafena bitukwatako oba oli student wa primary oba secondary school fenafena bitukwatako so a message buli Munnayuganda gy'oba ng'olina okutambuza otandikira ku family yo baneighbor ekitundu district yo ne region yo ne mu lulimi bo so naye nziza okumpaka mike naye njagala kukandinga over naye ng'ekyaffe kino kya muntu alina common sense nti tulina okusalawo ani anyigiriza era bw'obeera n'osirikambwe ekintu kino okifunamu era nawe nkujjukiza nti nga bwe toli wali Museveni wabeera nawe era toli safe olaba bano Museveni bakozesa okutta n'abamala n'abajjawo bano Museveni bakozesa okuvuula n'okubuzaabuza Museveni amala n'abettira ina examples wano Ziblamando aminyo oyo musajja ya Ziblamando yakola mu kampu y'aba RDC ba Museveni bamuta benyini be bamwetira kana kasajja ka Ismail Alexas ikyuli bakakuba amasasi benyini be baketira oba balina emuntu bantu bangi nnyo Muhammad Kirumira yagamba abantu bagenda kunzita n'agamba buyogera amazima ofa era n'obutayogera ofa kati kanjogere ddala n'agamba kawukumya ali mu police kawukumi tagwangayo in fact yeyongera na bweyongezi bawo bamujjawo kuba yayabye ebyama byabwe kati kawukumi mungi nnyo so ngamaliriza mu second detan netamale mirungi kati ngamaliriza bangi nnyo si papa yavayo na declaringa nti tufunze tukutuga atenga nane episto tukutuga ne tukola ki naye bakubase wawe batuse kati lwaki abalamu tebayigirako ku bafu ekyo kyonkibuuza lwaki abalamu tebayigirako ku bafu banaye Uganda tukoze ekimala tubeeraawo wanteri asasula sente zisameka era kyova saagala okukubira abaana bagenda kusoma ku maca kati ngezaako okukendeza ddoboozi lyange naye kati tuli wano tuteesa naye teri muntu asasuddwa naye tugamba tukoze magezi ki kye tuba tukola bino bye tuli kukola tulemereko teri agenda kumala mu maanyi tulina ku building up just momentum naye wakyaliwo mentality eno egamba nti mind over matter nti nze tebinkwatako bystander mentality nti alinze bisooke mutuukeko alyoka aveeyo kiteezi example bali lusanja nayo that's another example that we wait other examples so ngamaliriza ddala Museveni na ayagala kukola butuji mu Uganda Museveni ayagala kuleeta birwadde mu Uganda bino mpox bali programming adda naye tubikubire ddala balugenda kubisaawo bali batandise n'okukola bigundi vaccine ngera bamazo ogamba batandise n'okubirako sente tuli kugula eddagala bweriti eza mpox simanyi biki tubikube n'ebyo butuji byonna byo tubikube kuba bali bakabireeta emirundi esatu omusajja pastor oba oyo gundi munadinga mwitanya mulokole Kayanja n'ava n'agamba terrorism mu Uganda ng'alinga ali ku marketing era ali ku advertising naye nga the victims Bannayuganda Museveni creator and at the same time is the solver ekyo tulina okukiyiga Bannayuganda tulina okukiyiga so bino ebintu bikubire ddala buli kimu Museveni tubeere nga tumukuba buli ango Anita must go stop corruption free our people Museveni must go as well Museveni must go twagala mutuusaayo mu kalulu 2026 Museveni must go kuba Museveni tosobola kuyimbira ng'olwanyisa abalwanyisa corruption ng'obateeka mu makomera so Museveni tekizibu nayo so Museveni must go twagala tubeere diverted mu tutu Anita must go Anita is only the problem Museveni and his group n'abazungu nabo tubateekeko nnyo pressure tubagambe nti tugende ku embassies zaabwe tubeekalakaze nti you are dealing business with this man you are giving him money he is facilitating using that money to facilitate terrorism in East Africa not only in Uganda tubagambe nti ate mu maaso eyo tetugenda azisasula World Bank IMF zebawa tetugenda kuzisa tugenda kugamba right off era abantu abali responsible beba abali baziyisa Bannayuganda okujja okwekalakasa nga babakwata bateeka mu makomera tulina records nti bwe bamusiba lwakuvaayo kwekalakasa bali bagezaako okuvaayo ne babakuba amasasi tulina evidence weziri buli wamu kati tuba tuganya okusasula sente ezo the same time tujja kwekunganga Abannayuganda millions and millions tutekeyo petition we are not paying this is a write off and the people who have used it should be their assets are going to be seized and then they should be in prison so neyanziza nnyo neyanzege kati kambaleke munansonyiwa ngende nebakemu ngenda kuzuuka ne next 3 hours so mutezi ngende mu maaso night shift Thank you.
Webale nnyo Paul. Thank you very much. Point gy'osembezaayo point nkulu nnyo. Omuzungu bw'omuwandiikira n'awakana time A, time B for payment. Bwe tubagamba, we've been telling you you're giving money to thieves and now we are not able to pay. You have information to back that up. That's why it's important. We have to continuously tell them, look, you're not funding Ugandans, you're funding the system, the dictatorship. Some of them have tried to write back telling us we have changed the way we fund. We no longer give funds, we give materials and all that. But you see, also now they are stealing materials, and that is one of the reasons why Anita Mong was sanctioned. She's a thug, but she uses the excuse of Ebisiyaga, Bulichimu Ebisiyaga. Recently, she made the Pope, the same Pope who endorsed Ebisiyaga. Kwegamba ye bwamusinkana Pope abeera mulala, Ebisiyaga bwamusinkana abeera mulala. Naye bannange tumanyiddwa. So hands are up. Clinton, guys, let's summarize because now I think
It was Claudio first.
Yeah, Claudio, then Clinton. Thank you, Joe.
Neyanza ite. Mwebale nnyo bannange buli contributing nze kitegeeza eggwanga lyaffe tulina ku mutima. Ate tetukoowa kiringanga abakatandika. Naye olw'okubeera nti omusajja ono afuze eggwanga lino emyaka mingi, abantu n'abafugira mu butamanya, n'abafugira mu nzikiza ng'alinga atusibyeko kantuntunu. Kino kye twatandika abantu abasinga ndowooza okusinga basically nange nalisi kina munyugu nga manyi kiyinza obutakola. Naye abantu kye namaze okuyiga nti kyetaaga kusigala nga tubasomesa, kusigala nga tubabuulira. Ate ndowooza n'abali mu ntebe temulowooza nti tuli kuno ku spaces tuli basiru. This world is just one global village. Gye mujja wiponi tumanyiyo, gye musobola okubijja byonna tumanyiyo, naye temutukema. We know all those countries which can do that. Temututwala mu kikeme ekyo. Tubasaba kintu kimu, mukole bye twogerako. Lino eggwanga lyaffe ffenna. Ate tubagamba nti ffe tugenda kubeera aba president, ffenna abo nga bali ku spaces. No way. Twagala good services. You have the power to bring all what we are talking about in the press. We want good roads, we want good hospitals, we want all those basics. At least the basics. Muzituwe. I don't want to go into nitty-gritties. Naye nze kye mbasaba mukole ebyo mulina okukola. Museveni yali agenda mu nsiko yalina only 27 people with very few guns. Naye kye yalina ekyamaanyi ennyo yalina abantu abaali bamuwagira. Of course, bwe tulina right now, the entire country is behind us. Kye tuyitamu buli muntu ayise mu kunyigirizibwa okw'amaanyi. Abantu bafiiriddwa abantu baabwe. Businesses z'abantu, all businessmen are right now back on zero. Kugamba tuli mu mbeera enyigirizibwa. Of which ndowooza sooza nti Museveni yagendera mu nsiko then baali batuse in that kind of life. Kakati tebatukema kututeekamu ekyo. Batulekemu bateeke ebintu bye twogerako. Omuntu bw'avaayo n'ajja ne yeekalakaasa, kitegeeza alaga obutali bumativu bwe ku bintu ebigenda mu maaso mu ggwanga. Ebyo bye tuba twogeddeko nga mmwe abafunye omukisa n'embeera mu bifo eby'obuvunaanyizibwa. Mubiteeke mu nkola. Ekintu kimu nze wano kye tumanyi mwenna Abaganda bali ensonga ziringa bbiri. Omuntu ow'enkwe, ekyo nsiba nkyogera nakola njajja wange. Omuntu ow'enkwe n'omuntu obukuusa. In fact, obukuusa is somebody who is so hypocritic. A hypocritic person is somebody who cannot be trusted. Kugamba omulala obukuusa kugamba yoyo omuntu ali double standard. Be basajja bano bitulaba bali Mengo ate bali ne mwenaaleo. Bali ne mu government. Omusanga ye Katikkiro ate nga yeno mu amagezi wa Museveni. Kuba mwandali omuntu ali ku byennono ate ebya government bikwatirako weya wakati okujja n'owe ebirowoozo byo. I mean, unless ngoli ku payroll ya government, we have ministers abali responsible for that. Gwe lwaki tobera mu byokwambala embugo n'okusumika n'okusaaka abasika. Ebyo goberera ebyo biri bikwatirako wo. Kiba kitegeeza you are partisan. Ebyo bye byamalawo Obuganda wano ate bye batandise okuyingizaamu. Bwe mugaba ne mwogerako mutunodde kabaka mukama. I mean, mutulekeemu. Ffenna tuli Baganda wano. Kyagulanyi wano bamulinyiridde ebbanga lyonna. Kyagulanyi Muganda ate Mukatuliki. N'abamulwanyisa Baganda ate Bakatuliki. Tebaagala kwogera ku bintu ebyo. Bwe baba ne tulyogerako bagamba tuli bampisa mbi. Naye twakowa embeera eyo okutubeera nga mutusiba kantu mu maaso nga mumwegaggawaza namwe muli Baganda mugaggawala. Naye naffe ssebo wano naffe tulina emiziro n'ebika n'emituba n'amasiga mutusibuka. Simugerera kubeerawo nga mutusiba kantu mu maaso. Bwe baba boogerako tebaagala kuboogerako. Obwana obwo tebulina mpisa. Please give us a break. We are all stakeholders in this country, and we are supposed to talk about all the anomalies you guys were making. We are all supposed to be responsible for this country. We are not foreigners in Uganda. Amusajja novaino ndakasajja kali akateka hosting the space campuses zabu byo akawungezi kana. I felt so bad. Naye abantu ngabo ndoza oba butamanya. kubanga toyinza kugamba muntu wano okwekalakasa kwa kuina forms nyingi tewaliwo gundi ya district omuntu gyayinza kukozesa nti omuntu olina okwekalakasa woti ne woti just katotuusa obutali bumativu bwo eri omuntu waliwo omusajja biseera ebyo yali ayagala district ye yali ammese ndowooza abaganda bali mwamuwulirako yali ammese ne bigenda mu mpapula z'amawulire eventually Museveni n'amala n'aba government district. So I would think that abantu baleme kulaba nti nno nti bavumirira bannyinaze abavuddeyo ne bagenda nga ate tebabadde bukunya omuntu ali obukunya yaba tayambaliddeko ddala bano babadde amabeere bagabise ng'ate bambadde leggings bagamba nga yes they were skin tight naye nga tebabadde bukunya naye omuntu n'avaayo na hosting space era bwensi yonna ekiragira ddala bannayuganda abamu nti obwongo bwaffe bulinganga bwebaayiwamu amazzi and we are going to ekintu ekyo tugenda kivumirira ate buli alaba abasajja abo nga oba musobola oba blocking muba blocking and even don't follow them because they are turning out to be a nuisance. Eggwanga lyaffe ligwawo abantu baffe bali mu makomera babonaabona enkya neggula batazanga musango tuli mu kubonaabona bannyinaffe bali mu mawanga batya n'okudda ewaka ne bakola obusente bwabwe ne babubbira amakubo n'agamba naakola ki ansigaleyo nga nkyayiriga naye namaliza emyaka 5 nga talina wadde kyalaga Uganda naye nga akeera buli lunaku n'agenda akola abali babaddeko abaliyo n'abali esawa naye nga talina ne Uganda kyalaga naye nga akola naye nga sente zibulira mu b'Enganda batasobola okulinnyonnyolako mu Uganda labe byakola obulumi obwo bonna bw'onoddayo n'otandika okukuba semutiki bannaye basajja mutusaasire mu ggwanga lino twegatte wamu tubeere kitole abantu abambala amasuuti ne basiba amatayi ne babeera buli kaseera balabye kamera ne bazeetega buli balabye kamera ne bazeetega ne babeera mu mawulire ne bayogera palapase buli biprogramu bya propaganda ebibeera ku NBS amawulira ku BBS amawulira ku whatever nga be babeerayo buli kaseera n'ayogera ebintu n'amala natandika n'okweripiitinga buli weekend n'abeerayo abantu ne batuuka okubafuula abasiru buli constituency wabeera yabeerayo nga MP yabeerayo nga n'amala emyaka nga 2 omuntu omu bw'ati naye bw'obeera muntu wangeri kyabeera representinga abantu omuntu omu birowoozo ki gwe byolina ebyenjawulo abalala batalina. So I would think that we should all have to respect one another and have our country at heart. Tuberenga tubeerako kitusobola okugattako buli muntu alina etoffaali aligatteko in a positive way. Abakulembeze abali mu buyinza mutuyambe, we have the capacity to fight for ourselves. Never tugamba tukusalawo okufa ne tufiira nga tulwana. We can do that. Bannayuganda tumanyiddwa tulina abajulizi tulina n'abantu ba matters. Tulina Museveni yabayita baki heroes babeera ne heroes. We have even heroes. Ugandans, we are fighters. If they want us to take in that line, we are going to fight. And we are going to we are fighting with words and our mouth on spaces. But we want action. We are going even to go on ground and begin to go kurwana. Muteke betwogera mu nkola twale eggwanga lyaffe maaso. Neyanziza gukompoliza.
Tweyanziza nnyo ssebo Claudio. Akasajja nkimanyi kakyankalanyizza nange space nagirabye. I had to run and open a space. I could not allow that Manyanga to go on, I'm seeing Clinton's hand. Please go on, Clinton.
Oh my God, my hand has been upstairs. All right. I want just to, there was a Rukanga. It was a very good statement that she should. I just want to drive to that. Then I also rated the gentleman. There's another gentleman that also issued very nice statement. So I would say that most especially, yesterday I had a meeting with one community leader here in Canada. The community leader means here we call the community leaders. When we, for example, in Canada, we have 40,000 Ugandans. 40,000 Ugandans. Whenever this space starts, I always make sure that in those groups where they are, I so that I call people to join. Out of 40,000 people, I think you can only find 3. So I asked him, how is it that the people who are saying that they need a better Uganda changed, they cannot even participate in spaces? So, and definitely himself, he has no answers to that. The reason why I brought that is that as we doing these things of unity and, trying to have more people, focus on this agenda, we need to make sure that we continue teaching unity because muchimanyi bulungi, bring back our people, muchimanyi bulungi our Ugandans, to be honest, we don't have unity. It's the biggest problem that we have for so long. When it comes to things, everyone, techimukwatako. When it comes to us, now you're crying. These agendas and good strategies, for example, like what is going on. We need to proceed educating people on the other side of unity. What does unity coming together? As you see, people in Kenya have unity. When they say something, they mean it. Where did I see other thing like that? I saw something like that in South Africa. Although we still condemn them using how did they call it? To bring back to our people this riot which was there in South Africa
Xenophobia.
of saying that
Xenophobia.
yes, but still it was by unity. So as we really collaborate to remove the government of Mr. Museveni, you know me, I'm now very straight. We are removing the government of Mr. Museveni. I even sent that post in Banana, that Banana post, Nebagambanti. By all means, Museveni is going to be lined up like Gaddafi. Yenzo bagenda kubavuga trade eyo kubanga njagala kumwittira nze kennyini. Yenzo agenda kubavuga trade agenda kukulira Museveni ku ttaka ekikuta ekyo tusoke ki. I think akaaba so kategeere. So we need unity because even the Bible speaks about it. Alita munne ne Jambia na alifa Jambia. Ndoza Bible yaiterimba. Those who believe in Christianity like me. So we teach people unity. We teach people to stop, like our colleagues to stop okubera ekintu kijja like bona ne basanyuka nnyo over excitement. Ebare empya nejja bona ne babaate ku bare nkade ne beeyuwenu. Bona buli kimu. So on addition to the unity I'm emphasizing is of course that is something because I believe that was created by Mr. Museveni's I think it was among of his 10 dividing Ugandans or using divide and rule policy. It was among his 10-point program, although it was a reciprocal, like, you know, it was a reciprocal. He brought the 10-point programs in a reciprocal way. But there were those among the 10-point program, what we call divide and rule, what we call assassinations, silencing, what we call, but according to what Museveni has presented to us in action, I believe that was his 10-point program. Make Uganda corrupt, maybe make Ugandans suffer. There was make Ugandans dry of good health care system. I think those were his 10-point programs. So, I would say that, since now, and this is my second point is that since we are now completed, because this is what happened, what there are our new protest side, it's just we have resumed. We have resumed, but bring back, well, I'd say that, we are remaining with 3 months or 4 months, to enter the next year, and the next year is a year of mobilization. And we need now to start campaigning. Museveni must go when it is still early. So the world knows. Some of us, I don't know whether I should speak this, but we are going to reach, we are prepared. I will not speak this because it is more much, but
Please
I will
don't
just,
say it.
yes, I will not say it. Let me just leave it there. But, by all means, we are going to use all methods, the government to be removed by all methods, because we will not tolerate or allow the continuation of dynastism of Museveni. And I have had, bring back to our people, I've had the US Embassy in Kampala warning people about an to happen. But I believe, according to my intelligence, is that there are some crooks planted by the government that present themselves and they are acting to be informers of the US Embassy. From the side of Museveni, that they are going to be an terrorist attack. Yet, so they are using US Embassy. US Embassy may not be aware of this, but I believe that these are informers who are proclaiming to be like non-partisan, for example, or not on the side of the government of Museveni, but trying to alert the US Embassy so that the US Embassy can come out and issue a public statement. So that on this side of the page, you see a state of emergency. Because if is able to, scrutinize everything in Ugandan and from Ugandans, how about those embassies which are there? He may not, I'm not saying that he may use the US Embassy, but I'm saying his group may misinform the US Embassy to the extent that they have to issue a public statement. Bring back, or take that number. And so that when the US Embassy issues the statement, and the statement comes in the public, and after that, it rains into the Ugandans that now, there is an insecurity going in. But let any one of you tell me, why would terrorists attack Uganda if it's not Mr. Museveni? Why? What do we have? For me, I'm just wondering, what do we have? Museveni has taken everything. So I'm wondering if the terrorists would really leave some organization, some people we know that have been, to go and hit Kampala.
May I ask a question,
Yes,
Mr. Speaker?
Go ahead.
First of all, we all understand that terrorism has always been used as a narrative from M7's along activity. We've had terrorism happening, all the terror acts that have been happening in the region. And America has been playing this geopolitics kind of narrative that Museveni is the only person in the region who can fight terrorism. And that's why even when they realized that Museveni actually lost the elections in 2021, and they made a statement, and then they said, when it comes to Museveni, he continues to play a regional role in terms of security and all that. They seem to believe that without Museveni, there will be a lot of terrorism in the region. And that's wrong. Museveni himself is ADF, Museveni is MTN, and we've been telling them this. And one of the social media blogger, and everyone knows him, ASP Asimi, recently, about 4 days ago, he has come to warn about the Mpox. Museveni is trying to use Mpox again to lock the country. And they've capitalized a lot. They have already invested a lot in the Mpox. But people who are with him, they've already passed this information. Whether it's legit or not, that Museveni is intending, he has been incubating the virus, and now he's about to release it on the Kenya-Uganda border. And also he mentioned about the plan to terrorize or to bring terrorists in tourist attractions like game parks. And a few days later, now the US or these organizations, they are heightening the security alert, terror threat alert. So you ask yourself, why now? And also, another thing which I'm asking on the ground, why are these videos surfacing of a woman being executed with a pistol? And also, why now? And why has this video been leaked out? Because the people who are there who took the video, they should note that they will be caught anyway. Who released that video? Secondly, and lastly on this point of security, Mr. Museveni, when he leaves power, does not mean that our security will end, or Museveni will leave, does not mean that, in fact, the system will become better. Because Museveni had already mastered the art with the Americans, because for them they care about destabilizing the region and exploiting the region's resources. That's what they've been doing. They don't care what Museveni does to the Africans. That's why we are saying we must continue to put too much pressure on them. These sanctions are not like, oh, they are given Anita Among sanction, and Anita Among is the problem of Uganda. No. Museveni finally is the real person who should be sanctioned. Museveni is number one culprit. When they give Kandiho for being involved in abductions and election violence in 2021 and before, and when they give Kaibula, it is Museveni they should be giving.
A question.
Yeah, okay, I wanted to react. Thank you. I just wanted to react on that, but then this topic is quite big. So my question is, why now? Why are we getting these security alerts now from the Americans? The way we were just saying, actually, it doesn't matter who issues these security alerts. At the end of the day, you ask yourself the timing and ask yourself, why now? Why is it at this time? Also, why do we hear about now? A lot of, today I've heard something like Chinatown, they are selling things cheaply, thousands or hundreds of people are lining up. Why now? Why are people rushing for these cheap things? Is it normal? That's not normal. You ask yourself why the abnormality is. If you just ignore this, then you don't know what's going on. So either way, we need to be alert because we know Museveni is a terrorist. Museveni has been doing this for years and years. And the only way he survives is like, I'm fighting terrorism. I need money. When he says I'm fighting corruption, he will walk. He will do a corruption walk, but it's the other way around. Museveni, when he says I'm going to do this, it is the opposite of what he just said that he's going to do. So thank you very much for that, a little bit of question and also reaction. Thank you.
Thank you.
I was waiting for a question.
Yeah, the question was linked with the reaction, so it is.
Yes, why now?
But the question is
Okay.
why now? Why now? Why everything happening? Why
Why
now?
not? Of course, every leader who have been using a patronage system, that's how they do it. As I always give a reference to President Moi. He was also having the same thing. But you see, bring back people and colleagues. We are on the maximum. Do you know like powering water in the tanker? I think for us to do it now, the only thing is attack. That's the only thing. We have spoke. Kakate chituseko. Nothing we're going to find. We already, just trust me. He is going to go. Because, for example, Tinyakaroma bring back our people and colleagues. But elections, we are wasting time. And politics, by the way, let us be serious. Let us raise more voices. He did this way in 2021 election. Wamujukira. Ngatugenda kuingira mu 2021 election. 2020, netaka kuleta ebintu ebyo. Wamujukira. He started the same system. He's bringing back.
Every time Nude has a countrywide tour, there are bomb threats coming. Every time there is something like this, I mean, this is something we have had so many times. It's just that the difference with this, Chivamu United States, Nayeka Kambuze, these people of United States, we appreciate their concern, but we have just lost people in Chitezi. So should we say they care so much right now? The same people who have funded the regime for years after years after years after years after years. Now what became, you know? So anyway, as you conclude,
For me, as I conclude, the reason why I brought that is that, of course, the U.S. Embassy may also be misinformed one with the other. Because I believe that because Museveni, Yomuntu, Obachi Tencha, he's everything. He's an imposter. He's everything. He can create, he can be a terrorist. He's already a terrorist. He's a terrorist. You guys tell me, which war has UPDF ever won? Let's be honest. Since Museveni came in power. There's no war. We wrote a report, an investigative report about UPDF. We found that UPDF has never won any war. They only go and kill people, come back. Which is under all those people, they go and, the generals, the curriculum. I'm just wondering, who killed so many people? The Bipanga, he's there in the mute silent. He was not even, guys, I think enough is enough to call you.
yeah.
They bring back our people. If there was a report that we did as a CMP when we were analyzing how these bombs were busting, like the other time, which bombs that were parliament. Bomo, Nejane Kuba once we just Ngolia, Omutaga Kuba, and they want to hit people. Nebomo Bazeka Kumatan Kuba or parliament. Tizikubina Kumujango parliament to Vedia Basilica Babylon is Kuba on the side of the building is. Test catch you. At again, I'm Katarika, anyone think by time I bring back our people, Katari, anyone see, by time I
Oh, we know.
we know. You can so is a brother. No money, and you're taking in South Abakaza by India, we know, who checks them. Now, Mutanata Gay, or Mutanava in a Janayam parliament, where there is no people, where the vehicle is just parked, governments the mind again after 20 say, never move out to that the terrorists.
Thank you very much, Clinton. Thank you guys for being here. Into Uganda, I will never forget the day when Felix Kuleije brought a few young guys, brought a few bottles and Sijui what, arranged them there, and they're like, these are materials we are going to be used to make bombs.
Bring back our people. Let me just give you something. Kendagaro yogereko. Narabye ono omwogezi wa UPDFC yokakoraije. Baga baba issues chipapula. Bagenda ku they have first UPDF Expo. Nembuza ku Expo that they are remembering baliba a general Alonda oli yali mukuru wa police nti they are remembering them. Ekibuze nebuza abantu abakwatibwa nti be bataba abantu, where are they, what happened? Nebanange.
That is another way to steal taxpayers' money. It's like saying they have spent 7-point-something billion on the palace of Ankore. Hey, otherwise, before I forget, guys, if you have that video of a woman being shot in the river, would you take a comment section one to Jagala for just we shall keep it for further reference. Please share that video. I have been on Spire's comment section. I have moved and I've been seeing it just because I've been hosting the space. But now I've been seeing it. And at the end, not understanding if it is Ugandan and all that, but having heard that there was even Luganda in the video. So it's important we keep it. We are gathering a lot of evidence. There are some of our colleagues who may be developing a website or something like that so that in the future, when we are hunting for these fugitives, we have references, we have a lot of documentation about them personally and all that. I want to end this space, but before I do that, I want to send a prayer to my sisters, to our sisters and all our colleagues, the Samings, the Olivias in prison. Bobatoli, religious or tofayo nange siri nnyo religious, but desperate times like this munange newombekako nenjogerako ne katonda wange era siri wano really to talk on as a religious person and no offense to the Muslims, please. Singa manyi olwalabu nansabye mu lulimi lwange naye nze manyi Rastafari manyi n'olulimi lwaffe olwa Katonda. So dear God, we thank you for our lives. We thank you for Uganda. We thank you for each and everyone who is here. We thank you for time, food, everything that you have given us today. We are thankful. We thank you for the courage of our sisters who saw it right to protest and show the world their dissatisfaction, discontent, and disgust against the misappropriation of our resources. We are so many, but they managed to do it when they are in few numbers. Maybe it was because you had planned it that way, but we are grateful, dear God, for giving us women and men of such courage. We are also grateful to be alive in times when we see Ugandans are actually taking matters into their own hands. Basically, we are thankful, we are grateful, and we shall forever be thankful for as long as you give us life. We shall continue fighting for the better. Webale nnyo, and in the name of our Father we pray. We all say Amen.
Amen.
All right.
Olutalo nga luwedde.
Okayisizaako baganda bange. Baana banuupo bamwava ki. Otherwise, guys, I'm very thankful for your time, and I want to appreciate all of you for tolerating us and for contributing, and we continue to contribute. I might close this space, but if there is anyone who is going to open up the space, let it be Joe, Florence, Commander Florence. Kutumiddeko, my dear. Ivan Bruce, how are you? Webalo chikuba ku Twitter. I mean ku bajita batia TikTok. I usually go on TikTok. I find people on TikTok are really having a very informative conversation. Please tell those people on TikTok, Ivan Ngabo a lot. Nange ntera okuyitirayo. Please tell them that the March Parliament is still on, and let them keep on the conversations. And we hope whatever happens here on X can also be taken to those platforms. And to the rest of you Ugandans, Bob, Grace, Ogambotia Grace, Nkumbi, how are you, sir? I wish you all a good morning, a good night. Council Tobias. Naye Council Tobias, tewe baka. I don't know when you sleep, sir, but much respect and love to you, sir. Thank you for everything you have done for us and for you and for your country. We don't take it for granted. Otherwise, from me to you guys, have a blessed one. And Florence, you should stop laughing on serious issues. Simanyi lwaki command of what. Anyway, abasajja mugolole boxa. No time for excuses. Abawala gajja. Abasajja bajja. And and if you have big nyash, if you have a friend with big nyash, please. Florence, you have something you would love to say?
No, it's time for big nyash at least zikoleko omulimo than being in bars.
For sure. I mean, anyway, lero nasanyuse when nagenzeeko in Kenyan space, and I found them talking about the girls in Uganda, and they are, asking themselves, these people, they saw us and they have taken it further, and I was like, hey, wait.
And that is good.
That is good.
Ekyo kirungi.
That is very, very good. When I found
That means we are taking a
we are
step.
taking a step, because actually for them, they beat us with numbers. But for us, making these actions of big magnitude, they actually speak in large volumes, big numbers. It's something that is very impactful. And we hope to continue that way. Actually, we shall not stop until Anita resigns. Guys, until next time, God bless. Keep it burning. Let the corrupt be uncomfortable. Badja. Tomorrow we are starting from that. Good night. Good morning.